What's going on, people? I want to talk about something. I just got home, and I want to talk about something that I just witnessed, and I can't believe I just witnessed it. Um, I've been, making some changes in my life and doing some things, and I decided I was going to go to church, and I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, but that's not what this video is about. Um, so. So I didn't want to go. And, not that I didn't want to go. I wanted to go, but I got home. I felt tired. I went to the gym. Just, I was a little worn down today. So a little voice said, you know what, you should go. So I got up and I went. And the church is, right up the block from my house. It's actually a cool little church. It looks nice. I've looked at the website. The last church I've been to, it was dancing, singing, and, people loved it, but it's just not for me. So let me check this one out. I was born and raised Catholic, so we don't really have that, but I got there, and the pastor says, hey, is this your first time here? Obviously, because I have no clue where I'm going. But he says, we're having this thing for the kids tonight, but you can go in and have a seat, check it out, And I said, okay. And, man, so I sit down, and they're singing, and these kids, and I couldn't help but notice, people. What are you doing to your kids? There was probably about 15 kids in this thing. All right, and I want you to picture, a stage, two TVs up top and everything. There's a stage, and I feel horrible. I really do. I can't believe what I witnessed. So there's the kids up on stage, right? And they're up there and they're singing, but obviously the words are going across, but it's, they're singing with the music that's obviously on a video. So you hear the video music, not really your kids singing. So, if I was a parent, I'd be sitting there going, man, my kid's going to chorus for this, and I'm watching a video, and they're just singing to it. So, whatever. That's cool. But, man, like I said, there was about 15, 20 kids, and up front, 15 miserable kids. Let me put it that way. 15 kids that you would have thought they were standing in front of a firing line. And I felt bad. I felt horrible for these kids. Why would you do that to your kid? And I'm not talking about a 4 or 5 year old kid that doesn't know, or, even if they're 4 or 5, don't do that to your kids. You're not helping the cause, these poor kids, there was, the whole back row was miserable. You could tell they're looking at each other, like, rolling their eyes. They're just not happy. They're not happy to be there doing that. And I get it. And the whole time there's these 3 girls up front, these little, 8, 9-year-old girls, and they're singing their little hearts out with microphones and everything, but the whole back row's just like miserable. I don't know if you guys can get this picture in your head, but what are you doing to your kids? They're not objects. They're not for your entertainment. Yes, kids are entertaining. I laugh at them all the time. They do some stupid shit. They're funny. They're cool to watch when they're doing something they enjoy. But don't force them to do this shit. Dude, I get it. You want your kids to go to church. You want your kids to go to Bible study. By all means, amen. Teach them about God. It's a good way to live. You know, the 10 Commandments. You can't argue those. It's a good way to live. But don't force them to do crazy shit like that. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? You're making them hate church. If you want to make your kid end up like me, many years of drugs and alcohol and living in sin, force them to do that kind of shit. Because they're going to run from the church and do the worst shit they can do just to rebel. I'm serious. Thank God. I mean, I couldn't imagine if my parents would have made me done that. My life would have turned out 10 times worse. I mean, and I get it. If your kid wants to sign up for that, let them sign up for the church chorus and have a chorus, you know. But don't do that to your kids. These kids were miserable. I mean, they were humiliated. I mean, you know, I'm sitting there in the when I leave. I had to leave because I knew I was in the wrong kind of church. This church wasn't for me. I'm not there to torture kids. So I step out, and the pastor comes up, and he's like, you know, hey, yeah, you know, I understand, blah, blah, blah. You know, this isn't really what we do on, you know, it's just it's not normal. We're just trying to raise money because they have camp and everything. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going, these kids are at their own church singing for their own parents. Where is the money coming from? The parents, I don't get that statement. Like, you weren't raising money. You were trying to make yourself feel good. How does that make you feel good? How does that make you feel good that you've humiliated your child? I mean, and we're not talking about 6, 7-year-old kids. We're talking about 12, 13, 14 teenagers that are singing shit that a 4 or 5-year-old should be singing. I'm just baffled. I mean, if you want to turn your kid against God and against religion, do that shit. I'm serious. I mean, I just can't believe what I saw. I mean, I don't have kids yet, and I want kids, but I will never, ever do that. I would never do that to my kid. If my kid came to me and said, hey, I want to sing and dance, and by all means, I'm going to put you in dance, and I'm going to put you in chorus, and I'm going to get you a vocal coach and all that shit. But if my kid has no business and does not want to sing, I ain't forcing that little fucker on stage to go make, like he's a chimp or something, dance, you know? No, just don't do it. Anyway. I can't believe what I just saw. Y'all are fucked up.